Hey boys and girls, today I am going to show you guys how to multiply decimals. On Monday, the assignment I taught you guys on YouTube was I taught you guys how to estimate decimals. Today we're actually going to multiply them. Okay, so take a look at this video. I started it already for you on my notes here. Okay, so what we're going to do is I already started off. So we're multiplying 3.4 times 5.2. Okay, all I'm doing is doing the lattice method like I was always taught. So as you can see, I'm going to do this one with you guys, and the next one I already have the answer ready. So 3.4 times 5.2. Notice how my numbers are spread out. Okay, that's important. See how they're spread out with each other. And I have them lined up. I underlined 3.4. I drew a line going down for 5.2. Basically, now you guys know we're going to finish the box. Okay, so again, we're multiplying decimals. This is the lattice method right now. Okay, now, the next thing you guys know, I'm going to draw a line between the numbers, between the 3 and the 4. I drew a line. Then I'm going to draw a line between the 5 and the 2. You see how I drew a line between the 5 and the 2. Okay, you always draw a line between numbers. You're splitting the numbers apart. The next step, you're drawing a diagonal line from each box, from corner to corner of every single box. Corner to corner. This one I kind of missed a corner there. Okay, from corner to corner. And the ones over here, you have to extend the line. From corner to corner. Corner to corner. So you see how I split it up? I went from corner to corner on each box. And these ones, I extended them out a little bit, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the numbers, which you guys know. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8. Since it's just an 8, I'm going to put a 0 in front of it. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. I'm going to put a 0 in front of it. So all of you guys already know how to do this. The last step is adding up the columns. I just want to show you guys a quick reminder. So remember, when you're doing it, you could take a piece of paper and you can show you got an 8, you got a 6, here 5 plus 2 plus 0 is 7, and then you bring down the 1. Same thing here. If you get a piece of paper, that might help you add up the columns. Okay, that's a little trick which I taught you guys during the school year. Okay, now I'm ready to add up my columns. So this column is going to be an 8. 0 plus 0 plus 6, 2 plus 5 plus 0 is 7, bring down the 1. Now, this is the new thing you're learning today. Now, this is what you do with the decimal points. I'm going to get here. So here's the decimal point, and here's this decimal point, right? So what's going to happen is, also, notice how these decimal points are lined up with this line right here. See how this one's lined up with that line right here. This line, okay? Notice that. So now, this decimal is going to run down this line. This decimal is going to run down this line. And what's going to happen when you're running and someone else is running and you're both not paying attention? You're going to run into each other, you're going to bump heads, and you're going to fall down the slide. So they're going to fall all the way down this slide, right? And they're going to land right here. Okay, so again, this one's running down, this one's running over. They're going to bump heads in the center, and they're going to go down the slide and land right there. Okay, so that would mean my final answer is 17.68. Okay, so you basically do the whole lattice method like you were taught. At the end, you make the decimals run straight down, straight across. They bump heads, and they fall down the slide. Okay, I'm going to do another one now. I kind of already started it for you. I set it up. You guys know you need to make sure you have lines in between all the numbers, right? Okay, you also need to make sure this decimal is on the line. Okay, and now we're ready to, we did all our multiplication. We carried the 1 here for that one part. Okay, so now this decimal, what it's going to do is it's going to go down, running down this way, not paying attention, right? This one's going to go running this way. What's going to happen? They're both running, not paying attention. They're going to bump heads and fall down the slide and land right there. Okay, just like we did in the previous problem. So we have, my answer is 16.587. So again, the key is you got to remember this is going down the slide, this is running this way, they bump heads in the center and they fall down the slide and it lands right there. Just like on the previous one. Running, running, bumping heads, falling down the slide. So everything is the same for the lattice method, except you just need to know how these guys bump heads at the end. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do the US traditional method. Okay, boys and girls, now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to multiply the same exact problems, but now I'm going to do the US traditional method for those people that use this method instead. So I set up the problem for you. 4 times 2 is 8. We're going to do the first one together. The second one I did for you already. 2 times 3 is 6. Now that we're going to do the 5 times the 4 and the 5 times the 3 now. It's that turn. We're going to start the second line with a 0. So 5 times the 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 2 is 17, right? Okay, now all we do is we add it up. So now we have an 8, 6, 7, 1. Now, so basically I've done nothing different. All I'm doing is multiplying. Now it's time to start figuring out where this decimal is going to go. So here's what you have to do. See the decimals here? You're going to move it to the end, and you only moved it once. You're going to move it to the end here, and you only moved it once. Add those two ones together, now you get a 2. So now we're going to move it 2 times. The decimal is technically sitting right there, like I always teach you guys, right? So now the decimal is going to move 1, 2. I moved it 2 times because I had a 2 here. I moved it once there, and I moved it once there, which is 2 times. So since I moved it 2 times, I'm going to move it 2 times in my answer, and it goes right there. And take a look. That's exactly what we got at the top. My answer is going to be 17.68. So I did the same problem. I did it 2 times, okay? And I got the same answer both times, okay? So I want you guys to take a look at both ways. Okay, I'm going to do the next one, which is started for you. So I solved the whole problem as the traditional method, and now it's time to move the decimal point. Okay, so a couple things I want you to notice. Notice when you're multiplying decimals, you don't have to line up the decimals. You just set up the problem. You set it up just like any other problem. Okay, you don't have to line up the decimal points. So I did all my work. I carried, I borrowed, I did a 0 in this spot like you guys were taught, and now it's time to show what happens with the decimal point. Okay, so again, just like on the previous problem, the decimal is going to move 1, 2, so there it moved twice. Here it's only moving to the end once. So you add those two together, you get 3. So now it means the decimal sitting here right now, I'm going to move it 3 times. So 1, 2, remember how you go between the numbers, 3. Now the decimal is going to be sitting right there. So if I write out my answer, it should be 16.587. Okay, so you guys know you can choose either the lattice method here, or you can choose the US traditional method. It's up to you. Now you know how to do it both ways. So I'm just going to quickly review both ways. So let me go back to the first problem. If you choose lattice, do the lattice method the whole way you always do it. Nothing changes. At the end, you're going to take the decimal point. One's running down. This one's running over. They go all the way down the slide and they land there. So 17.68. Same thing with this one. This one's up here. This one's on the side. He's running this way. She's running that way. What happens? They bump heads. They fall down the slide and they land right there. 16.587. Okay, so you need to know where the decimal point goes. Everything else is exactly the same. Same thing with the US traditional method. I didn't do anything different. The only thing that's new is I am at the end, once I did all my work, I'm moving the decimal. So here it's moving over once. Here it's moving over once, which is a total of 2 times. So now at my answer, the decimal started here. So I'm going to move it 1, 2 times. So it's going to be 17.68, which is what I got up here. It's the same answer. Okay, let's go over to the last page. Same thing. Everything goes exactly the same as you would normally do, right? Same exact thing. So it's going to move at the end. You're going to take the decimal. You're going to move it 1, 2. Here you're going to move it once, which gives me a total of 3. So as always, the decimal point starts here, of course. 1, 2, 3, and it ends there. So 16.587. As you can see, I got that here, and I got that here. So again, you can choose any method you want. Okay, you can choose any method when you guys are doing this, and everything is exactly the same as you would normally multiply, and the only new thing is what you do with the decimals, and you do it at the end. So set up your whole problem, do it the same way you did the problems. Remember I gave you 4 problems yesterday to do, 4 multiplication problems. You all did them. You all got pretty much all of them right. Do the same exact thing, but if you're doing lattice, they're going to go and bump heads, go down the slide. If you're doing US traditional, you're going to move it just like I did in the video, and then you're going to move it that many times in your answer. Okay, so hopefully this helps, and I'm going to give you guys some questions attached to this assignment. And if you have any questions, rewatch the video, slow it down, pause it, maybe do it on a worksheet on the side. That'll help you. Okay, and make sure you take a photo of your work, you upload it and attach it, and you also have to make sure you click turn in, or to upload the assignment. Okay, so once you're done with that, you can upload it and I'll grade it for you. I'm going to give you a few problems on a worksheet. Okay, hopefully this helps. I miss you guys. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Okay, we're going to be doing decimals again tomorrow. It's going to be another type of problem though. I'll see you guys soon. Okay, thank you for